Thursday morning. You know what that means. And he's on the microphone with Brian and Gene. The Morning Sickness Show. It's where I want to be. Strumming my guitar, soft and gently. Where bacon rules all, and Bloody Marys are tall, and Pearl Street beers chase them all. I'm here to sing to you, tell you have a great day. And don't forget to come rock out with Tug Sunday.
Our good buddy Andy Hughes of the band Tug with his version of the Thursday song, most recent version. We got to get an update on that. I'm going to have to get in touch with him. I know he's a busy guy, but we'll see if we can sit down and maybe get us a new version of that Thursday song. Good morning. Guten Tag. Bonjour. A little foggy to start today. 39, though. Not bad. Going to be pretty mild. Cloudy for most of the day. Then we've got some rain moving in tomorrow with a high of 44. Looks like that rain will probably continue on Saturday with high temps again in the mid-40s. So not too bad for the next couple of days in terms of temperature. Hopefully you had a great holiday, Christmas yesterday. Recap my adventures. They were pretty chill. Kept it low-key. Back at work today. Didn't want to get too wound up or too hungover, so we took it easy yesterday. Got the Thursday song out of the way. We'll play someone's effing song in just a couple of minutes. If you want to request an effing song, go to our website to do that. And, of course, if we play it later on, you'll hear it, and you'll score a Downtown Main Street gift card from Nikki Paisley. So, yeah. And if you want to get in touch with me this morning, rockmornings.com is the website. Again, if you want to let me know what's going on. Maybe you've got a traffic report, or maybe you want to tell me what you got for Christmas, whatever. I'll be around all morning. Falling in Reverse and Rage Against the Machine in just a bit. Stick around.
More of your Rock Mornings coming up in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. She'll be out until sometime next week. I think, what's Wednesday? The 1st? Yeah, so she'll be back, I think, on next Thursday, so a week from today. Don't quote me on that. But, so yeah, you're stuck with me. Apologies. Again, get in touch, rockmornings.com, all of our contact info there. You can register to win prizes on the website. You can listen to the show live. You can also check out the daily podcast. It's all right there at rockmornings.com. A plane crashing in the Kazakhstani city of Aktawa, killing 38 people of the 67 people on board, 29 survivors. Prime Minister there disclosing the figures while meeting with Azerbaijani officials. The plane was en route from the Azerbaijani capital of Baku to the Russian city of Grozny, and it diverted in an attempted emergency landing, but then it crashed and again killed 38 people, 29 survivors. They say that weather had forced the plane to change from its course, but right now it's too soon for them to come up with an actual reason as to why the plane went down. President Trump yesterday, lengthy Christmas Day social media post telling the 37 people who had their death sentences commuted by President Biden to, quote, go to hell. He said also to the 37 most violent criminals who killed, raped, and plundered like virtually no one before them, but were just given, incredibly, a pardon by sleepy Joe Biden. I refuse to wish a Merry Christmas to those lucky souls, but instead will say go to hell. Trump, of course, said a bunch of other stuff on social media yesterday and wished a bunch of people Merry Christmas. But, yeah, not too merry for those people that are getting their sentences commuted by President Joe Biden. Mega Millions, no winner yesterday. I bought a bunch of tickets. I tell you what, I think the first two numbers were like 11 and 14, and I actually had those as the first two numbers on one of my ticket, and then I didn't match anything else. So I got 2 out of the 5. I didn't get the Mega Millions number, and but as soon as I looked, I said, "Oh my God!" And my wife turned around and she's like, "What?" And I said, "Never mind." She was somewhat disappointed, to say the least. But yeah, the Mega Millions jackpot on Christmas Eve now estimated to grow over $1 billion. $1.15 billion is the estimate for the fifth largest jackpot in the game's history, according to Mega Millions. The lead director for the Mega Millions Consortium, Joshua Johnston, said, "We know that many people will likely receive tickets to Friday's drawing as holiday gifts, and what a gift that would turn out to be if you ended up with a ticket worth $1.15 billion. So, yeah, it was like, what, 97 million or 970 million or whatever it was. I don't remember. But now it's over $1 billion, apparently. 5th largest jackpot in Mega Millions history. Friday, tomorrow, will be the next drawing. So if you didn't win, and none of us did, I mean, not the big jackpot, then go out and buy some more tickets tomorrow or sometime today. And last but not least, a popular brand of eye drops being recalled nationwide due to a possible contamination, according to the FDA. Earlier this week, the FDA announced that Alcon Laboratories, based out of Texas, was voluntarily recalling a single lot of Sustain Lubricant Eye Drops Ultra SPF single vials on the go, as the products may be contaminated with fungus. Fungus among us. The company reported that a consumer complaint about a foreign material found inside a sealed single-use vial then determined the material to be fungal in nature. Fungal contamination in eye products known to potentially cause eye infections, according to the FDA. So if you've got one of these Sustain Lubricant Eye Drops Ultra SPF single vials on the go products, you might want to throw them away. Or at least Google it. Don't want that in your eyeball. No, thank you. Rock Mornings with Brian and Jean. Again, she's off until next week. You're stuck with me. And if you need something, rockmornings.com. Let me know what you're up to. Back at it, grinding on a Thursday morning. Had computer issues at about 4 o'clock. Had to call and wake up the boss. He was very happy about that. Hey, nothing like a little post-Christmas computer issue in the studio to get your blood pumping first thing in the morning. I just tried to restart the computer, and it didn't work. It worked, but then it needed some kind of password that I didn't know we needed to enter, and I had no idea what the friggin' password was. So, yeah, you try the engineers. They didn't answer it. Then it's like, well, got to call the boss, man. So that was fun for him, I'm sure. We'll get to Rage Against the Machine in a couple of minutes. Right now, it's Falling in Reverse.
Rock Mornings. On air, online, on the app.
Hell yeah, that is Cake with Going the Distance. Friday, June 27th. BMO Pavilion. Got my tickets in my Ticketmaster account for my buddy Adam. Going with him and his lovely wife to see Cake in June in Milwaukee. Very excited about that. Not a Christmas gift, but it was nice to see those in my Ticketmaster account the day before Christmas. NFL yesterday, the Kansas City Chiefs over the Pittsburgh Steelers, 29-10. They lock up the top seed in the AFC for the 4th time in 7 years. And Kelsey, oh boy, this guy just keeps climbing the charts. Second half reception from Patrick Mahomes. He recorded his 1,000th career reception, joining Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten as the only tight ends in NFL history to reach the mark. Now, Travis Kelce is also the only player in Chiefs franchise history with 1,000 career catches. Gave a nice little Tony Gonzalez dunk over the goalposts, paying tribute to the tight ends who have come before him. Lamar Jackson broke the NFL career rushing record for quarterbacks in the Ravens' lopsided 31-2 win over the Texans last night. He pushed his career rushing total to 6,110 yards to move past Michael Vick, who had 6,109 in his 13-year career. So obviously, barring any kind of major injury or setback, Lamar Jackson's going to keep piling on those stats. Ravens, who are 11-5, already had wrapped up the 3rd straight playoff berth and needed a win over Cleveland next week to win the division over Pittsburgh. Steelers, of course, dropped their 3rd straight game with a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs earlier in the day. Tonight in the NFL, Week 16 continues. The Bears hosting the Seattle Seahawks. That game on Prime at 7:15. NBA had 5 games yesterday. LeBron James kind of throwing down the gauntlet there about the NBA owning Christmas. Yeah, good luck with that, bruh. The Knicks got a 117-114 win over the Spurs early in the day. The T-Wolves outlasted the Mavericks in the afternoon, 105-99. The 76ers upsetting the Celtics in Boston, 118-114. Lakers over the Warriors, 115-113. And Phoenix over Denver in the late game, 110-100. In that game earlier in the day, Luka Doncic forced to leave the Mavericks Christmas Day game with an injury. He was driving near the left near the left elbow late in the first half, went toward the basket, attempted a jab step, immediately stopped and gave the ball up. He's the team is preparing for Doncic to miss an extended period of time. Reports are that he left the American Airlines Center on crutches and will undergo an MRI sometime later on today. Bucks will be at home tonight against Brooklyn. That game at 7 o'clock, and the bowl games will continue today with Pittsburgh taking on Toledo at 1 o'clock on ESPN in the Game Above Sports Bowl. Then you got Rutgers versus Kansas State at 4:30, also on ESPN. That's the Rate Bowl. They used to call it the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Now they just call it the Rate Bowl. And finally, you got Arkansas State taking on Bowling Green tonight at 8 o'clock in the 68 Ventures Bowl game, which is also, again, on ESPN. Bowl games. Bowls. Got to take a look at my boards. My bowl games on my board start tomorrow. I got no bowl games on there previous to the 27th, so I'm good to go. I didn't miss out on anything. Going to play someone's effing song in just a couple of minutes. Again, you can request your effing songs on our website for your chance to win that Downtown Main Street gift card, thanks to Nikki Paisley.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. That is Dangerous from Shaman's Harvest. That is Chris's effing song. Chris lives in Toma, and that's the song he wanted to hear. So there you go, Chris. Hopefully you heard it. If you didn't, then you probably find it on YouTube or on Spotify or on Pandora or on Napster or on LimeWire. No? Is that not a thing anymore? Chris, you not only got your song, your effing song, but you also scored that Downtown Main Street gift card thanks to Nikki Paisley. Again, request your effing songs on the website for your chance to win. Each and every Thursday, we play somebody's effing song. Yesterday, a couple of movies in theaters. The Complete Unknown film about Bob Dylan. Also Nosferatu. Saw several commercials during the NFL and NBA action. That's what I was watching yesterday. We, of course, got up in the morning and we watched Ralphie, Christmas Story, a couple of showings of that while we opened presents with the dogs and the cat. Had a little coffee. Got ready, went over to the in-laws' house. Watched the Chiefs game. And then had a meal, opened some more presents and all that stuff, hung out with the family, and then we went back home and got sort of reorganized and resituated because both of us had to work today. So then I just chilled out in the basement, watched the Celtics lose to the 76ers. That's what I did yesterday. Not a big day. Again, I did not really do much of anything. Also yesterday, in case you missed it, Chiefsaholic, a wolf in Chiefs clothing. That was on Prime, a new special about the psycho that is a super duper Chiefs fan that got busted robbing a bunch of banks across the Midwest. They put that thing together quickly. Today, you've got Squid Game Season 2 on Netflix. Also, of course, on Prime tonight, the Bears taking on the Seahawks. Week 16 in the NFL continuing. Over on ABC tonight, you've got The Year 2024. I believe that's an 8 p.m. start. Robin Roberts hosting a look back at the top stories, trends, and entertainment obsessions that define the last 12 months. Bowl games today on ESPN started, I believe, at 1 o'clock. You got the Game Above Sports Bowl. Then you got one at 4:30, the Rate Bowl. Then you've got the 68 Ventures Bowl game tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN. So bowl games all afternoon and evening on ESPN. Over on NBC tonight, you've got E! News presents NBC's Hot 10 of 2024. It's NBC's version of a look back at the last year. And over on NBC after the E! News Hot 100 or Hot 10 of 2024, it's Dolly Parton's Magic Mountain Christmas. Giddy up! Inspired by the hopeful spirit of the Great Smoky Mountains, Dolly Parton returns to Dollywood to star in a new holiday musical with special guests Jimmy Fallon, Willie Nelson, Billy Ray Cyrus, Miley Cyrus, and several others. So there you go. That's what's on the boob tube today. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to be watching. Probably some bowl games. Tune into that this afternoon. Get some work done. Get the house cleaned up. You know how it is on Christmas. Everything just kind of... And I'm like super OCD about it, so I start picking things up right away. Like my in-laws came over on Tuesday night after church, and we made homemade pizza and opened presents, our annual tradition. And As soon as the paper starts to be like ripped off the presents, I'm there. I'm that dad. I am with the bag going, put it in here, put the trash right in the bag. Put it. No, don't put it down on the table. Put it right in here. Yes, right in here. No. Take it from the dog. Don't let the dog eat the paper. Put it right in the trash. That's me. I'm walking around with and then all the presents, of course, are like all laid out, all the stuff that we got. My wife likes to display it and look at it and reminisce and I don't know what the hell. And I'm like, I got up immediately after the presents were done being open, and I said, my OCD's kicking in. We got to start putting this stuff away. Yeah. That's how I roll. Look, it's fine, okay? You open the presents, you get a good look at the stuff, but it's, if you got a set of towels, throw them in the laundry and let's move on, okay? We don't need to see them for a week. Me? Just me? No? Either way, I hope you had a great Christmas yesterday. Again, we had some homemade pizza on Tuesday night. That was delish. Opened some presents, watched Ralphie, went downtown, had some drinks, hung out with some friends, saw a really drunk girl stumbling around. Man, she was having trouble finding the bathroom. Yeah. Had some fun watching that. Didn't have an incident like we did last year. Last year when we went out to the bar on Christmas Eve, there was several police involved. Not for me or for my wife, but for another young lady who apparently did not have a very good Christmas Eve. That was last year. This year, there didn't seem to be any issues. The only issue that I have is that, look, it's Christmas Eve, and I get it, the touch tunes, you can jump people's songs, but what are we doing? Not playing Christmas music on Christmas Eve. I mean, seriously. Nobody wants to hear Sandstorm by Darude in the midst of all the Christmas joy that we're experiencing. We're having some holiday cheer, drinking some booze, hanging out with friends, and you got to hear Sandstorm. I didn't realize, I forgot how short that song was, so at least it wasn't like the super long, extended DJ so-and-so version. But yeah, somebody skipped my wife's song. She was very pissed about that. She loaded up the jukebox with a bunch of Christmas tunes, like Wham, all the good ones, right? Wham! Last Christmas and Run DMC, Christmas in Hollis, and then all of a sudden, some guy walks right over to the jukebox and starts pounding money and wants to hear Darude, Sandstorm. And she's like, son of a bitch. I think that, in my opinion, here's what I think should happen. I think touch tunes, right? And look, you're in the business to make money. And you already offer the skip button, right? For extra cash, you can skip people's songs, which is great if you get to skip and hear your song, but it sucks if you've already put your songs in and your songs are getting skipped by crap, which is usually what happens when you get your song skipped, right? Someone's playing crap that you don't want to hear. I think what TouchTunes should do is add like a $10 cancel button, right? Like an ultimate, this ends the song immediately. So if someone plays something you don't want to hear while you're in the bar, skips your songs, you can then go on the app and you can say, okay, I'm going to spend $10. Bam, this song that's playing right now that skipped me that I don't want to hear will end and my song will start playing immediately. Or $20 or whatever. Obviously, you're probably going to have some meltdowns for people arguing with bartenders over the jukebox, but just a thought, just a suggestion. I don't know how many times I would use that, depending on the cost, but it would come in handy. There's been several times where we've been trying to enjoy the holiday spirit on Christmas Eve, and some idiot comes in and starts playing some of the worst music you've ever heard. Something to be said about those old school jukeboxes with CDs and record players. Something to be said. Not a lot of skipping going on with those.
Rock mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
Biscuit with Break Stuff. Going to see them in May when they open up for Metallica, when we go to Nashville. Excited for that. Cannot wait. I think the last time I saw Biscuit was when they were at Rockfest, like a decade ago. It's been a minute. Rock mornings with Brian and Gene. Foggy start to the day. Keep those headlights on as it starts to light up. A bit later on, going to be cloudy with a high of 40. Then looks like rain over the next couple of days, but high temps again in the mid to upper 40s on Friday and Saturday. I got a text from Corbin. I was talking about immediately busting out the trash bag and starting to put all the discarded paper from Christmas morning in the trash bag. That I've become that guy. That's who I am. which is not really surprising. I mean, I've got, I don't want to say severe OCD, but it can be pretty bad at times. Corbin said, I passed the torch down this year to my oldest son. He held the garbage bag. I said, you got to love those family traditions. Hopefully you had a great Christmas, Corbin. Thank you very much for texting in. rockmornings.com if you want to text in this morning. Find all our contact info there on the website, rockmornings.com. We'll get to some music in just a bit from Stone Sour. Bad News, Happy Music later on. We'll take a look back at the year 2024 with some celebrity deaths and whatnot. All that and more coming up.
Rock Mornings, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9.
Stone Sour Through Glass on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. And Christmas yesterday, Chiefs playing, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. And last week, before the Chiefs took the field against the Steelers, safety from the Kansas City Chiefs, Justin Reed, hosted 28 different families from a local school district at a Ford dealership in the Kansas City area for the second annual Justin Time for the Holidays. It's a gift giveaway type situation. More than 50 kids were able to choose Christmas gifts as part of the toy giveaway. But the big surprise of the night was for a working mom of 6 who needed a new car. Apparently she had applied for assistance to get a new car and was denied or didn't get the car. And so Justin heard about her situation and made that new car a reality. Her name is Bonnie Strutton, and she had no idea what was going to happen last week at this Ford dealership with the Just in Time for the Holidays event. Showed up at the toy drive just hoping to get some Christmas gifts for her 6 kids, but instead she left with the new wheels, courtesy of Justin Reed of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Victory Ford dealership down there in Kansas City.
All of us here want to be able to gift you this brand new vehicle.
I don't even know what to say, really. I'm speechless. It's just been one thing after another, and this is like such a blessing. Good things keep happening. Is to keep doing the next right thing.
The same way she's doing the next right thing, we wanted to do the next right thing. And that was to recognize her situation and to help her out with the brand new vehicle. We're all excited to be a part of Bonnie's story, just to play a small piece in it. And we're excited to see her just continue in her journey.
To have all my kids back in my life, and this right here is going to be more of a connection than anybody can know. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up before the miracle happens, because people do see you, they hear you, and they love you.
Oh, man. Emotional. Getting choked up. Bonnie Strutton. 6 kids, 30 months of sobriety. Just got her kids back. Anybody who's ever been a part of that journey knows how difficult it can be. She's got a Suburban, big old Suburban that apparently is in need of repairs, guzzles a lot of gas, obviously. Making times really tough for her around the holidays. But thanks to Justin Reed of the Kansas City Chiefs and that Ford dealership down in Kansas City, she was able to get a new vehicle and hopefully helping turn her situation around. Very cool. Music in a bit from The Offspring and Puddle of Mudd. Also going to get to sports again. Talking about Caitlin Clark. She keeps getting hardware for her award shelf. No big surprise. And we'll take a look back at some of the Pornhub stats of 2024.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Again, she's out till next week. You're stuck with me in this fog. Be careful. As Frankie McDonald would say, be prepared. Keep your headlights on. Going to be cloudy later on today with a high near 40, in the mid-40s the rest of this weekend. It looks like we might get some rain on Friday and Saturday. Pornhub, much like Google, like Grubhub, like all the other hubs, releasing some of their year-end stats. Average session for a visit to the website, the adult website. Lasted 10 minutes and 37 seconds in the United States. A minute longer than the worldwide average of 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Apparently, people in Alaska takes them the longest. It's probably because of the cold and the darkness. Maybe the internet connection's not too good up there. People in Alaska taking the longest with their visits to Pornhub.com, 11 minutes and 4 seconds. Louisiana, by the way, very expeditious. They got things done in 9 minutes and 18 seconds. That's start to finish. Most popular time to log on to Pornhub.com is around midnight on Mondays. Least popular about 5 a.m. on Tuesdays. Well, yeah, I was just on there on Monday night at midnight. I was there 5 hours ago. 90% of all of the video watched on Pornhub.com this year was on your phone. 92% in the U.S. So worldwide, 90% of it on the phone. 92% of it in the U.S. on the phone. Top categories, according to Pornhub.com. Viewed by men. The top categories this year, Japanese, MILF, and mature. The top categories for women viewers in the U.S., lesbian, Japanese, and MILF. A lot of crossover there. By the way, only 29% of Pornhub viewers in the United States were women. The trends that they say were very popular in 2024, demure. Searches with the word demure were up 133%. Jesus. It's like people have never heard that word before. Wives was also very popular. Searches were up across the board, but especially for Mormon wives. Searches for Mormon wives on Pornhub.com this year up 71%. Coworker, very popular. Apparently a lot of us have coworker fantasies. 92% of people searching for coworkers. Olympics also saw an uptick, obviously, with the Summer Olympics happening earlier this year. Searches for things like sex Olympics, nude Olympics, very big during the Summer Games. Specifically, people were looking for volleyball-related videos. Cartoons also very popular. Hentai, world's number one search for the fourth straight year. I don't quite understand that, but I'm obviously not in the majority on that one. Anime rose 4 spots to 7th overall when it comes to popularity at Pornhub.com. And the Hawktua girl. Pornhub users searching for that term 10 million times this year. They were looking for Hawktua. I don't know if they were waiting for her to release a video or just wanted to see girls doing the Hawktua. Spit on that thing. But apparently that was very popular this year. Go figure. That was probably the meme of the year, right? Hawktua. Top movie and character searches of 2024, according to Pornhub.com. Number 1. Still very popular even all these years after the Suicide Squad movie came out. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
What are you going to do? You going to kill me, Mr. J?
Harley Quinn, number 1. People like the Harley Quinn. Again, these are the top movie and character searches of 2024 at Pornhub.com. Star Wars coming in at number 2. All-time classic. Can't go wrong with that. Right? Princess Leia, the bikini. Plenty of other lovely young ladies. And men. And Jabbas. And Wookiees. Was it Wookiee? Were they looking for Wookiees? Star Wars coming in at number 2, according to Pornhub.com, with their 2024 stats on movie and character searches. Game of Thrones. That show's been over for like a decade. I mean, I know there's like the House of the Dragon and all that stuff, but Game of Thrones hasn't been around for a while. And yet here it is, number 3 on the list. Weird. Avatar. Not the band, but the movies. That was number 4, excuse me. Yeah, Avatar. Blue Aliens. Coming in at number 4. Harry Potter at number 5. Kind of strange. I don't know. I feel weird about even mentioning that. These are the top movie and character searches of 2024, according to Pornhub.com. Everybody releasing their end-of-year lists, their review. Wonder Woman at number 6. Wonder Woman. People looking for a strong woman. Looking for her with her lasso of truth, invisible jet, very sexy attire. The Incredibles at number 7. Animated family. Probably the mom, right? She's got the big butt and the thick thighs. Very bendy. But yeah, these are the, again, top movie and character searches of 2024, according to Pornhub.com. Incredibles coming in at number 7. Black Widow at number 8. ScarJo, skin-tight uniform. Deadpool at number 9.
You look like an avocado had sex with an older avocado.
Thank you.
Batman at number 10.
I'm Batman.
Again, all-time classic like Star Wars, been around for a long time. People like costumes and heroes and all that stuff. Spider-Man at number 11. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Radioactive blood. Yeah. Spider-Man at number 11. Catwoman at 12. Wolverine at 13. And Star Wars, which came in at number 2, gets a little subcategory as Princess Leia, ends up at number 14.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Yeah, people really wanted that Princess Leia. Moving down the list a little bit, number 17, Shrek.
What are you doing in my swamp?
I'm not here to kink shame at all. Do you, Brud? But I'm not looking for Shrek porn. That is not something I'm interested in. I've seen it, but I'm not looking for it. And then at number 20, according to Pornhub.com and their top movie and character searches of 2024, The Incredible Hulk.
And Hulk.
Smash. People are looking for the Hulk to smash. And there you go. Some Pornhub stats from 2024. 90% of all their videos watched on phones. That's crazy. Nobody's got a desktop or a laptop anymore. No tablets, just phones, no iWatches, just all phone. Man, they might as well just sew the phone into the baby's hand when they come out of the womb. Just put it right there in the hand. Figure out some way to graft it to the kid. Because we are just obsessed with having our phones in our hands. I'm as guilty as anybody. I'm not saying I'm not, but love those phones. Got sports coming up in just a bit. RockMornings.com if you want to get in touch.
Rock Mornings on 95.7 The Rock.
Puddle of Mud, Blurry, Rock Mornings, Brian and Gene. NFL yesterday, Chiefs, of course, over the Steelers, 29-10. Chiefs lock up the top seed in the AFC. We get that bye week. And in the other game yesterday, Lamar Jackson ran all over the place. He's now the NFL career rushing record holder for quarterbacks. Lopsided 31-2 victory over the Houston Texans. Ravens 11-5, already wrapping up their third straight playoff berth. Need to win over Cleveland next week to win the division. Pittsburgh can win out and take the division if they win their next 2 games, but if Baltimore wins against Cleveland, then they've got the division. Tonight in the NFL, the Bears host the Seattle Seahawks on Prime at 7:15. Don't forget Packer and Viking game got flexed on Sunday to the late afternoon slot. NBA had a bunch of games yesterday. Tonight, the Bucks will be at home against the Brooklyn Nets. That'll be at 7 o'clock. Bowl games continuing today on ESPN starting at 1 p.m. And Caitlin Clark named the AP Female Athlete of the Award. Caitlin Clark named the AP Female Athlete of the Year for her impact on and off the court earlier this week. Another award for her trophy case. Saw her popping up in commercials all over the weekend. Well, the Christmas holiday, I should say. The State Farm commercial, right? And Colorado. Deion Sanders. The Buffs. They say that they have secured a record insurance coverage policy for their quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, and their Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter, as they have now opted to complete their college careers in the Alamo Bowl on Saturday, rather than sit out and prepare for the NFL draft. But because they're going to play and run the risk of injury and maybe affect their draft position, they have apparently taken out a massive insurance policy. They didn't reveal the number, but I'm sure it's a lot. Colorado 9-3, number 23 in the college football playoff rankings, going to face number 17 BYU, who are 10-2 in the Alamo Bowl on Saturday. Sports on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get to some 3 Days Grace in just a bit. And again, if you need something, rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Nothing more if it doesn't hurt on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Got a text from Kyle. Said, watched the Christmas Story yesterday. Had to bite my tongue trying not to quote it around the family. Yeah, we watched it several times, starting with 7 o'clock on Christmas Eve. It's tradition. Watched it Christmas morning as we were opening presents. Wife was watching it upstairs at my in-laws' house yesterday, making food with her mom while I was downstairs with my father-in-law watching some football. And then wife started to watch it when she got home after we were at the in-laws, but then I was downstairs watching the Celtics game, so she came down and decided to join me. We're going to see Saturday. My big present, if you will, for my wife this year was she bought VIP tickets to go see the movie itself, A Christmas Story, at the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee on Saturday with a meet and greet with Peter Billingsley, who, of course, plays Ralphie in the movie A Christmas Story. So very excited for that on Saturday. We'll be leaving early in the morning. Apparently the meet and greet happens before the movie, and I'm going to try to sneak some contraband in. I guess you're not allowed to get autographs. They sent out the email. They don't. But I might sneak something in my pocket and see if I can, like, whisper to Ralphie, like, hey, dude, I got this thing. Would you mind autographing it? See if they take me out in handcuffs. Kyle, thanks for the text. Appreciate it. We are obviously big fans of the movie. We stayed at the Christmas Story house this year in Cleveland on our way out to New England. It was definitely a highlight of the year, 2024, for us. The concerts that we've had, that we've gone to. We missed Rockfest because we had to go back to New England in July when my mother passed away. So we didn't get a chance to go to Rockfest and experience all that this year, but looking forward to going back in 2025 and having a blast with all the people at Rockfest. I see they're teasing the lineup release sometime in January. Fingers crossed. Sooner rather than later. But, yeah, we had some shows here in our area. Copeland Park, Bush, and a whole bunch of others. That was awesome. Looking forward to that. We got Riverfront Revolt happening in just a couple weeks at the Lacrosse Center. Yeah, looking forward to it. 2025. Hopefully, I don't know if it's possible that 2025 could be any worse than 2024. It was a pretty bad year for us. Pretty bad. Dogs and cat made out really well at Christmas at our house. A lot of treats in the stockings, some toys. Especially with a new puppy, it's always important to introduce all sorts of different stuff. We got this. I got a cat window thing that you suction cup it to the big window in your living room, and it's like a little hammock bed thing. So once we get the Christmas tree out of the house, we'll be able to install that thing and see how Mr. Cricket likes it. The other thing that I got Mr. Cricket was like it's like an automated toy. You put batteries in it. It's got a little button on it. You stick it on the floor. It's got a little spinny thing. It looks like a butterfly. It's on the end of like a little metal, I don't know, pole or whatever you want to call it. And it kind of spins around and flutters like a butterfly would. And Mr. Cricket seemed to like it, but Remy, the boxer puppy that we just got, really likes it and was grabbing onto it with or mouth and then not letting it go. So we may have to put it somewhere where only Cricket can get to it. Maybe like on top of the bar or something like that for now. But other than that, yeah, pretty chill Christmas. Looking forward to Saturday. That's going to be a hell of a good time. Can't wait. 2024, lots of celebrities and famous people passing away. Ricky Henderson, of course, just he passed away, last week? The 19th, I think it was. All-time steals leader. Tony Todd, the Candyman, he died a couple weeks ago. Quincy Jones, he died in November. Phil Lesh of the Grateful Dead, he passed away this year. Fernando Valenzuela, the pitcher from the Dodgers, way back in the day. Pete Rose, he passed away in, September? Yeah. Charlie Hustle. Chris Christopherson, he died in September. Maggie Smith, who we all remember from Harry Potter, she died in September as well. James Earl Jones, big one. This year, that was early September. New Mufasa movie coming out. I think they work him into the movie somehow. Phil Donahue used to host the show on television. He died in August. Bob Newhart obviously played Papa Elf in Elf. That's how a lot of maybe younger people remember him, but he had a whole string of television shows back in the 80s. Richard Simmons, the workout guy, he died in July. Shannon Doherty also died back in July. Dr. Ruth, the sex advisor lady, she died in July as well. Same day as Shannon Doherty and Richard Simmons. They all died on July 12th. Let's see, who else? Martin Mull, the actor, he died in June. So did Donald Sutherland. Willie Mays, June 17th, he passed away. Jerry West, the logo, right, from the NBA. He died in early June. Bill Walton, he died in May. Morgan Spurlock, the 30 days guy, right? He ate nothing but McDonald's for like 30 days. He died in May. There's a ton of others. I'm just sort of hitting some highlights here. Ones that stand out. Dickie Betts, April 17th. OJ died in early April as well. Joe Lieberman, the politician, he died in March. Richard Lewis, the comedian, he died in February. Toby Keith died in early February. Carl Lewis, we lost Carl Lewis. Chubbs, damn alligator bit my hand off. Bunch of them. 2024, celebrity deaths. Just a few. Again, there's so many to run through, and there's all sorts of different, whether it's movies or musicians or athletes. 2024 celebrity deaths. Ricky Henderson, just last week. See if 2024 claims anybody before the end of next week. We'll get to Blink-182 after Porn Star Dancing.
Rock Mornings on your rock station.
Damn it. Oh, damn it. That's the title. Blink-182 with Damn It Growing Up on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Very foggy. Lights on, all that stuff. Please remember to turn your lights on. Please remember to keep them on. Going to be cloudy today with a high of 39. 44 tomorrow with some rain. Looks like that might continue on Saturday with a high in the mid to upper 40s. Not too shabby. We got bad news, happy music coming up a bit later on. The friggin' sports. No Office Cora this week or next week. She is out for the holidays, so we'll get back to her in early January, but I hope she's having a good time. Office Cora. Normally, we would talk to her on Thursdays and get a list of things happening around the 715, but much like Second Floor Sarah, who was out on Monday, it's that time of year. People will be missing work. I don't think they're missing it. Green Day in just a couple minutes. RockMornings.com if you want to get in touch.
More of your Rock Mornings coming up in just a bit.
Green Day on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Happy birthday to Kit Harington. Played Jon Snow on Game of Thrones.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah, he's 38, born on this day in 1986. Kit Harington. He's got some good hair. As a guy who's been bald most of his life, on purpose, I can look at that guy and say, that's some good hair. He can afford a lot of help, though. Andy Six, who is the lead singer of the Black Veil Brides, is 34. His real name, Andy Biersack. He goes by Andy Six. Chris Daughtry of Daughtry, 45. Born on this day in 1979. Jared Leto. Lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars. Born on this day in 1971. He's 53 today. Jordan Catalano, My So-Called Life, baby. 90s kids will remember. The drummer for Metallica, Lars Ulrich, is 61. Yeah, breathe in that Saint Anger. Breathe in those drums. I don't care what anybody says. I love this album. I loved it. Drums notwithstanding, I loved Saint Anger. I'll be the first to admit it. You can all kiss my rebel dick. Lars Ulrich, though, 61. Born on this day in 1963. And I'm going to murder this name because I'm not good with names. But Tamara Morrison, I think is how you say his first name. He is 64 today. He was born on this day in 1960. You know him best as Django/Boba Fett.
No disintegrations.
As you wish.
You may take Captain Solo to Jabba the Hutt after I have Skywalker.
He's no good to me dead.
You're being put into carbon freeze.
What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me. Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
Boba, Jango Fett, the bounty hunter. Also, of course, Aquaman's dad in the DCU, the DC universe. But Tamara Morrison, 64 years old today. On this day in 1973, a little film called The Exorcist made its way into theaters the day after Jesus' birthday. Boy, did that piss people off. It's always funny to go back and read like paper clippings and articles and stuff that occurred 50 plus years ago when people would go to the movies to see The Exorcist the day after Christmas. Oh, yeah. People vomiting in the theaters. 1973, perhaps the scariest horror film of all time, made its debut in theaters on this day many, many years ago. Exorcist. 1996, on this day in 1996, December 26, 96, JonBenet Ramsey's body found in the basement of her parents' home in Colorado.
Past Santa Claus in his sleigh and a double row of candy canes, deputy coroners brought the body of 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey from her upscale home. Neighbors described the young girl as beautiful and polite. In 1995, she won the Little Miss Colorado pageant. Boulder police won't comment on her cause of death, only saying that she wasn't shot or stabbed. They are investigating her death as a homicide. So far, no arrests have been made.
On this day in 1996, new series, docu-series on Netflix, 3 episodes, each about an hour long. A little bit of a refresher on the case, a little bit of an update as to where things are now. But yeah, JonBenet Ramsey, the case got started on this day in 96. And in 2004, legendary Packer Reggie White died at the age of 43 of cardiac arrhythmia.
And Reggie again. His 3rd sack of the day. Hey, Max Lane has sure got an education from Reggie White today.
Oh, poor Max Lane. Yeah, they couldn't keep Reggie White, or anybody else for that matter, from the backfield. Drew Bledsoe, of course, not much of a runner. Kind of a statue back there. That was what he was known for. He stood in the pocket. He took those hits, though, Drew. He did. He took them all. I'll give him a lot of. He was a tough man, tough guy. That you say what you want. Didn't get the win, right? Didn't get the big win, but that dude took a lot of hits. Reggie White passed away on this day in 2004 at the age of 43. And there you go. Some stuff that happened on December 26th, along with some birthdays. We're going to get to the friggin' sports in a bit. Also, bad news, happy music. And again, if you want to get in touch with me, rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings. On air, online, on the app.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Again, she's out till next week. I got a message from my guy, a friend of mine. Excuse me. take a drink of water there. I got a message the other day from a friend of mine on Facebook. I'll let him remain anonymous. He said, I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Here's a funny situation that I don't care if you mention on the air, but I have my colonoscopy scheduled for December 26th, meaning no good food for Christmas. Boy, was I upset when I realized it was the day after Christmas. Happy New Year as well. Not only do you not get to eat any good food on Christmas, but you also have to do the Go Light and, poop yourself silly as you prepare. The colon prep is the worst part of the colonoscopy. It's not the colonoscopy, in my opinion. I've had 2 of them now, and I got a free nap each time. It was great. They put you under, you wake up. I actually woke up in the middle of the first time years ago when I got my first one done. But the second one, which I actually had this year, I slept through the whole thing. The only thing about it that I didn't like was the prep, where you got to drink the gallon of Go Light and, basically sit on the toilet for an entire day. The other part I didn't like was the fact that I thought I was going to get like an hour-long nap. It was only 18 minutes. I woke up and looked at the clock, and they're like, yeah, you got to wait till your ride arrives, and then you'll be able to go home. And I looked up, and I was like, I've only been here for like 20 minutes. They were like, yeah, everything turned out fine. I was like, well, I thought I was going to get an hour-long nap. You guys gypped me. Best of luck to my buddy who will remain anonymous, who's going to get his colonoscopy today. My wife's got to get one this year, too, and she's not looking forward to it. I did, when I was talking about my colonoscopy earlier this year, and the Go Light, the prep that you got to do, somebody said they got a pill now that you can take that does the same thing as the Go Light, and you don't have to drink a gallon of that awful, disgusting... You'd think that, seriously, over the years, haven't enough people complained that they have come up with an option? I would hope they have. I might tell my wife to look into this pill thing. Message from Hugh said, Merry Christmas, Brian. Thank you very much. My buddy Adam apparently has some smoked salmon for my wife and I. Thank you, Adam. Looking forward to eating that. Also got a message from my guy, Sharky. Said, glad you found a great pup. Included a meme that he made of me saying, did you know I got a new dog? Doesn't matter. I'll tell you anyway and show you 2,000 photos. That's what everybody does when they get a new dog. Especially a cute puppy that does cute puppy things. Right? It's not just me. Thank you, though, Sharky. Appreciate it. Again, visit rockmornings.com if you want to get in touch today or anytime this week. Don't forget, when you visit the website, you can also sign up to score date night. Your chance to win pizza and movie passes. Give that away each and every Friday in Eau Claire and in La Crosse. So make sure you sign up for that on the website, rockmornings.com. We'll get to the friggin' sports in just a bit. Right now, it's Lincoln Park.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, the Nixons, that is Sister. Love that tune. Again, foggy. Keep your headlights on, please. Get where you're going safely today. You got to travel back home, or if you're doing that, got to go to this family on Christmas Day and this family on Christmas Eve and this family on the day after. Wherever you're traveling this morning, please keep your headlights on while it's foggy. The friggin' sports brought to you by Texas. A mom in Texas suing her son's former football coach for allegedly making his players perform a grueling workout that caused her kid to be hospitalized with a potentially life-threatening medical condition. This is at Rockwall Heath High School in Texas. Former head coach John Harrell and a dozen assistant coaches were named in a lawsuit alleging that they made players do nearly 400 push-ups with no rest or water break in an hour back on January of last year. The coaches allegedly used the push-ups to discipline the players for not showing enough hustle on the field or for uniform infractions. Uniform infractions? You can do a bunch of push-ups for uniform infractions? The workout was reportedly so taxing on the high school students and the players that at least 26 of the athletes were diagnosed or had symptoms of rhabdomyolysis, also known as rhabdo, a potentially fatal medical condition that causes the breakdown of muscle tissue leads to the release of muscle fiber contents into the blood. The mom says that her son spent 7 days in the hospital in the lawsuit. Attorney representing the parent said the son could have faced kidney failure if he had went untreated, and it could have been significant. This is not, quote, I stubbed my toe, or this is not, I'm a little winded after running some sprints. This is a potentially long-term life-affecting injury, and it's not something you're going to tough out, said the attorney representing the woman and her son. Went on to say that Coach Harrell wrote the program that said any little infraction for all sorts of different reasons would result in these push-ups. Harrell, by the way, the coach, placed on administrative leave from the school following the allegations back in January of 2023 and then resigned a couple of months later. Now civil lawsuit, obviously looking to hit him in the wallet. Several parents telling investigators that their kids were bullied at school by other students in an apparent attempt to prevent them from talking about their injuries stemming from the workout. So it sounds like this coach may have had other kids trying to harass and bully some of these students from coming out and telling their story. Yeesh. I mean, I get it. You know, you got to coach kids hard from time to time, but when you're talking about doing hundreds and hundreds of push-ups that could result in some kind of life-threatening injuries or medical conditions, then yeah, maybe not the proper kind of punishment. Got Sleep Theory coming up in a bit. Also, Bad News, Happy Music. And again, if you need something, rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril.
Now that's just nasty.
Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Bad news with happy music. We're starting in hashtag Florida. It's always a good place to begin. Plenty of lunatics running around down there. Just like this hashtag Florida woman. Now accused of stabbing a man several times because he allegedly shortchanged her on the tip for the pizza that she delivered to his hotel room. Keep the change, you filthy animal. Deputies from the sheriff's office responding to a home invasion and stabbing report at the Riviera Motel in Kissimmee. When they arrived, they found a man suffering from multiple stab wounds. Paramedics took him to the hospital, currently in stable condition. Further investigation revealing that the man had ordered a pizza earlier, and 22-year-old Brianna Alvello allegedly delivered the pizza to the man. However, she became very upset about the amount of money that she received from the man. Enough to pay for the pizza, but not very much in terms of a tip. So she allegedly returned to the hotel room, this time not with a pizza, but with another man who was armed with a gun. I guess if you got to choose between getting shot or getting stabbed, might go with the stabbing. I don't know. The two of them forced their way into this guy's hotel room, started attacking the gentleman, allegedly, who was staying there with the pizza. She then stabbed the man multiple times, allegedly, and then along with the male suspect stole unspecified items from the room, and then they fled. That's a hell of a racket. Did she even work for the pizza place, or did she, intercept a phone call or something? Deputies identifying Alvello as the suspect and arrested her earlier this week on charges of home invasion with a firearm, attempted murder, kidnapping, and aggravated assault. Cops have yet to arrest the male accomplice. Deputies did not identify the name of the pizza joint from which the delivery driver, I'm guessing, used to work at. Probably not going to keep that job.
Pizza.
Yeah. You can't be stabbing customers or showing up with your boyfriend and threatening them and then robbing them and all that stuff. Probably not. That's the downfall of working in a job where you live on tips, right? You're going to get those cheap guys. They're going to, for every one that gives you the extra, the 25, 50% or whatever, you're going to get that one guy who just rounds up to the closest dollar. It's unfortunate, but true. It really is. Colorado judge sentencing a 33-year-old man to just 3 years in prison. I feel like this crime warrants a longer prison sentence, in my opinion. I tend to be a little more heavy-handed when it comes to punishment, growing up in a household like that. But a Colorado judge sentencing a man to 3 years in prison for masturbating outside of coffee shops and then ejaculating onto unsealed foods in the bakery at the grocery store where he worked. So this guy was whacking off at work and putting his production to the test.
Whack ya.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was whacking you. Guy's name is Steven Masalta. He pled guilty back in September to attempted sexual assault on a child, along with 2 counts of indecent exposure. Credited for his year behind bars, meaning he'll be back out on the streets in just 2 years. And once he's released, he'll be required to register as a sex offender and have no contact with anyone under the age of 18. Also not allowed to have unsupervised internet access. Police and prosecutors upset that they couldn't issue a harsher punishment for this guy who was caught, again, masturbating outside coffee shops in Fort Collins, Colorado, in front of all sorts of people, including kids. A subsequent investigation led authorities to discover that his actions at a grocery store there where he worked were much worse. If you can imagine that. Assistant Chief at the Fort Collins Police Department, Christy Valesky, said, I understand that this sentencing may not align with public expectation, and I share the view that this man's actions were unimaginable. Unfortunately, things don't always unfold the way we hope. Crazy. This guy just out there whacking it everywhere.
A lot of beating and banging.
A lot of beating and banging. The Fort Collins police chief explaining in an update to the case that this guy was arrested in February, and after a search warrant was executed on his home, investigators found videos of him doing the deed at work on the food at the Safeway. You have to throw everything away in the entire grocery store. You can't have this guy's semen on anything.
Do you know where a guy can get a rub and a tug around here?
You can get it from that guy, apparently. Police chief saying, as we went through the evidence and we realized there had been many more crimes and many more victims in our community. The guy worked at the grocery store for 2 months where he apparently did his deed on multiple food items that were not sealed. So it's like one thing if it's in a box, it's like some cereal, right? And if you open the box and it's the bag inside is broken, you're probably not going to eat that cereal. But this guy was doing it on bananas and muffins and all sorts of stuff.
I give you permission to just kind of give a good whack.
And all he's getting is 3 years. 3 years for that. That's it. Yeah. Stiffer punishment. No pun intended. I'm thinking like decade. 12 years. Is that too harsh? Last but not least, this is also in Colorado. It's a little palate cleanser here. Police in Colorado said that a baby Jesus statue reported stolen from a nativity scene was anonymously returned to the fire station where it belonged, along with an apology note. This is also in Fort Collins, Colorado. The police department there originally posted on social media that the baby Jesus statue was taken from a nativity scene at their Old Town Square. They shared some security camera images of the Grinch making away with the baby Jesus. They said in a update that the statue was then anonymously dropped off at the fire station a couple of days after the theft with a note saying, quote, I am really sorry. I made a dumb mistake in the moment. It won't happen again. Police saying that the businesses that own the nativity scene are not seeking to press charges against the thief. But the baby Jesus made its way back to the nativity scene just in time for his birth.
I am living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. Hallelujah.
That happened to me once when I was a kid. When I was in my late teens, I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment with about 10 people. We didn't have any Christmas decorations, so we drove around and we were stealing Christmas decorations from people's front yards. And one of the things that I don't know why, I went and grabbed the baby Jesus, but I thought it would be funny. What I didn't realize was that this is one of those old school plastic nativity scenes, and they were all connected with one wire rather than each individual figure having its own cord. They were all connected. And so I went in and I grabbed the baby Jesus, and as I'm running away to make my way to the vehicle where we were going to drive off into the night with our stolen Christmas decorations, as I got onto the road, I heard a clunk, 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 clunk behind me, and it was Mary and Joseph and the 3 wise men chasing after me to try and get baby Jesus back. I didn't realize they were all connected. I dropped the baby Jesus and ran off.
Jesus. You said it, man. Nobody f***s with the Jesus.
Yeah. Learned my lesson. Stop stealing Christmas decorations. Just buy your own. Bad news, happy music on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Going to get to our daily check-ins here in a couple of minutes. Rockmornings.com if you want to get in touch with me.
Rock Mornings, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us. Check. We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Again, hit up the website, rockmornings.com, to find all of our contact info. Register for the contests. Date night, Workforce Wednesday. Subscribe to the podcast. You can even listen to the program live right there at rockmornings.com. Got a text from Todd. I was talking about colonoscopies and the Go Light that you got to drink. It's not good. That's the worst part of the colonoscopy, in my opinion, is having to suffer through that. He said, whoever named it Go Lightly should be slapped. The name of that stuff should have been Flomax. I said, yeah, it's really terrible. And Todd agreed. Yes, it is. Kyle texting in earlier, talking about the Christmas Story. Watched it yesterday, had to bite his tongue, trying not to quote it all around the family. And I said, not me. Start to finish, each and every time. Looking forward to Saturday, going to Milwaukee Pabst Theater, going to see A Christmas Story at the Pabst Theater, and got VIP meet and greets with Peter Billingsley, guy who played Ralphie in A Christmas Story. So looking forward to that. One day escape. Also got an email or a text earlier from Corbin. Said, happy belated Christmas to you guys. He said he passed the torch down this year to his oldest son about holding the garbage bag. Yeah, I was right away on Christmas Eve when we were opening presents with my in-laws. I was like, all right, let's start to put some of this stuff away here. All right. Thank you for the towel set. It's very nice. But that can go downstairs in the laundry and get washed right away before we leave it out here on the table to sit for a week while we admire the new towel set. That doesn't need to happen. That OCD kicked in right away. It's like, all right, there's a lot of junk going on here, a lot of stuff, a lot of things. All the animal treats can go in the animal treat drawer where they belong. They don't need to sit out here on the counter for a couple of days. Yeah, little OCD. Thank you very much for tuning in this morning. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Again, please keep your headlights on if it's foggy where you're at. It's probably going to burn off here in just a bit, but it is going to be cloudy today with a high near 40. Up into the mid-40s on Friday and Saturday with some rain expected in the forecast. Have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.